Hello everyone, my name is K7 Showoff. Some of you may know me already, but for those of you who don't, I'm a longtime NRS player and a multi-game champion in other titles as well. I've played Mortal Kombat 11, I've won Frosty Faustings, I played Guilty Gear Strive, and I've won CEO, and recently I've won MKNJ for Mortal Kombat 1. My goals for Mortal Kombat 1 is really just to teach people how to play the game and get more people into fighting games in general, so I'm really happy that DashFight invited me to help you guys out with this guide here, as I'm more than happy to help. And before we get started, I would like to say, make sure you guys subscribe to DashFight for more character guides and check out the website. They do a bunch of other FGC related content, so I'm sure you guys will love that. So please feel free to check it out. It should be in the description down below. Okay, so to start off, Kenshi is a puppet character. This is the first edition of a puppet character that I've seen in an NRS game. And they actually done a pretty good job with it. But the idea behind playing Kenshi is that he has two different stances, which is his base stance and his Sento stance, which grants us access to the puppet that we have here, or Sento as we like to call it. It can be slightly challenging to start off with, but I'll make it very simple for you guys. And you just know that after this video, you'll be able to pick him up and play him just like he was any other character. So for starters, we're going to talk about his best buttons. We'll start off with his stand jab. So this is a 7-frame stand 1. It leads into his 1-4-1 string. This is hit confirmable, and you can special cancel it into your launchers and whatnot, and you can keep yourself safe on block as well. He has another standing string, which is his stand 2 string. It's slightly slower, but it leads into an overhead mix up at the end of the string, which is the 2-1-2 string. You can special cancel the first 2 hits of this as well and look for combos and be safe on block. Those are his best high starters, but to move on, we have the forward 2-2 string, which is a double hitting mid. It is 14 frame startup. This is one of his fastest hit confirmable mids, I should say. But you can combo this as well, so whenever you get your hit, you can special cancel it and go for a launcher or keep yourself safe on block with the EX push. And he also has his back 2, which is a slightly faster mid, but it is a 2-hit string, which is a knockdown on hit, so you can't combo the second hit, but the first hit you can also keep yourself safe on block, again with the EX push like we spoke about before. So those are his most notable normals when he's in his base stance. Before we move on, I want to talk about his pokes. So we have down 3, pretty decent poke, good range, same as his down. It doesn't have as much range, his down 1, but his down 1 is also a pretty good poke too, good for keeping people off of you or mashing out of fake pressure and stuff like that. And his down 4 is, I think, his best poke. It pushes your opponent away slightly on hit, and it is also good on block too. It'll push your opponent away. So those are his best pokes in his standard stance. But the objective of our base stance is we want to find a hit, pretty much any hit, and then we want to see if we can get into Sento stance, because we are a puppet character and we want to pretty much make sure we can go into Sento when we get our hits. And now we're going to talk about his special moves. So firstly, we have his back forward 3. This is a launcher. So whenever you are able to hit your opponent with pretty much any attack, you can go into back forward 3 for a launch if you get the hit, and you can finish the combo off from there if you are able to get the hit. So that is his back forward 3. It's pretty much just a launcher. If you use it on block, it is unsafe, so you must be careful. His back forward 2, which is his soul charge. It is a really, it has decent range, a decent range mid check, and you can throw it out and it'll knock your opponent really far on hit. It is unsafe on block, so be careful, and when you amplify it, it actually has armor on it. So it's good for armoring through people's pressure and using it on wake up to stop your opponent from pressuring you as well. We have down forward 2, or excuse me, not down forward 2. We have down back 2, which is his soul drop. This is an overhead attack that has 3 different ranges. So we have the close version, we have the mid version, and we have the far version. To do each of the versions, pretty much you just press it down back 2 and then hold whatever direction you would like the clone to go in. So if I wanted it close, I would hold back. If I wanted it far, I would hold forward, and if I wanted it mid, I would just leave it and not press a button after the down back 2. Also, we have the soul push, which is chargeable. It's the back forward 2, and it is unsafe on block typically, but if you're able to use it in conjunction with pokes, You can leave nice little frame traps and catch people trying to punish you for, you know, doing it, or punish you for poking. But if you EX it, you'll actually be slightly negative on block. It is -1 if you don't charge it, and if you fully charge it, it'll be +9, or excuse me, +10 here, but I think +9 up close. Yeah. So pretty much the soul push is used to keep yourself safe whenever you're finishing using a launching string or mid strings to pretty much make some distance between you and your opponent without you know, committing too hard. And his last special that we're going to talk about is his Sento stance. So if you press down back 1, Kenshi will pull out his Sento, or pull out his sword, and then Sento will appear on the screen. And Sento has its own unique moves in and of itself. So when we pull out Sento, we're just going to focus on Sento for a second here, so just ignore Kenshi. So Sento 1 will give us a high attack, which is a single hit high attack. It's pretty much used for checking your opponent, and it's good for combos. We have Sento 2, which is a double hitting mid attack that does have a gap if only Sento is hitting them. So between the first and second hit, your opponent can armor through, but they cannot mash through. They'll get hit if they're trying to mash. So that is Sento 2, double hitting mid. And we have Sento 3, which is a slow on startup mid, but it is a launcher. So if your opponent were to get hit by Sento 3, it will be launched, and you can combo off of it. And Sento 4 is a 3-hit high mid string from Sento, which will knock the opponent down on hit as such. And if they block the first 2 hits, between the second and the third hit, there is a gap that they can hit Sento out of. And whenever Sento is hit, Sento will actually just go pretty much on cooldown. So if I set, you know, Shao Kahn to jab Sento, Sento goes on cooldown. So just know that your opponent can hit Sento, so you do have to keep Sento safe when pulling it out in neutral and stuff like that. You want to make sure Sento is safe. But moving on, if we hold R1, we can attack with Kenshi without allowing Sento to attack. It's something that is used in combos. It's not really it's not used too often in block strings, but you can use it as well. But it's just to keep in mind that if you don't want Sento really doing anything, you could just hold R1 and we can stop Sento from attacking. Next, we have down back 4, which is our tactical takedown. And if we were to hit our opponent with this, with down forward 4, or down back 4, excuse me, we get a nice little 3-hit combo that leaves Sento on the other side of our opponent and us on one side. So now they're sandwiched, and then we could also, you know, hit them with you know, different combos and different pressure and stuff like that we have here. So when amplified, down back 4 leaves, he throws the sword and it leaves Sento close to them, but you're far away. And it is a 6-hit ender that will leave Sento in front of your opponent, and you'll be a little bit further away. And you can use this to end combos. It's your highest damaging ender when you're in Sento stance. We also have a down back 2. Down back 2 will call Sento to us no matter where Sento is. So if Sento's pretty much all the way in front of the opponent, like we spoke about before, if we press down back 2, we'll summon Sento to our side. Same thing on the reverse end. If Sento's all the way behind us, we can summon it to our side. The last special move that we have is in Sword Kenshi stance. It is the down back 3. This is a launcher when used with Sento, but if you do not have Sento available, you can launch and combo by yourself by spinning a bar. You must amplify it to get the bar, pretty much. But yeah, those are the special moves that Kenshi has. When you're getting pressured as Kenshi, just make sure that you're pressing your down 1 to make sure your opponent's not getting away with anything too cheeky. And if you're getting pressured too hard and you feel like you don't even have space to down 1, you can use your back forward 2 in base stance to armor through your opponent's pressure and knock them away. This is really good for getting people off of you. Now, however, this is something to mention. If you are not in base stance, you're in Sento stance, you do not have access to armor at all. So please be careful when using sword stance Kenshi, as you don't have really armor options to get your opponent off of you. You still have the down 1, but the down 1, like I said, it's really your only option, but just be careful once again. Now, the best cameos for Kenshi, in my opinion, are the freeze cameos, which are Sub-Zero and Frost. These two allow Kenshi to get nice combo routes, even when you're deciding not to go into Sento stance. But they also grant him Sento stance on hit, which is pretty much what you want, and you're able to find your combo routes pretty much whenever you're getting a hit in neutral. So it can be off a jab string. You can go for a jab string into Sub-Zero assist, or you can go for your mid string into Sub-Zero assist. This also works with Frost assist, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, those two allow Kenshi to pretty much play his game to the fullest potential. In my opinion, I think the Sub-Zero cameo is slightly stronger just because Kenshi is a character that wants to play neutral, but he doesn't have a projectile. And Sub-Zero with his frost armor allows him to deal with characters that are trying to zone him out, and also just play easier and better neutral. I think is just the most not the most common, but I guess it's the cameo that allows Kenshi to play the best, in my opinion. All right, so now we're gonna talk about some bread and butters. The bread and butter combos for Kenshi are pretty much any hit into his back forward 3 launcher. I believe it's called Rising Karma. So you do, like, you can do your best mid string into back forward 3, and then I hit stand 4 soul charge. It's pretty easy to do. It also works off the jab string, as I'll show you guys here. That works just fine. That's pretty much your bread and butter combo. You can also substitute the stand 4 for back 2. It makes the combo slightly easier. It does slightly less damage, but it makes it easier. You could also go for down back 2 to end the combo for better Oki. But yeah, pretty much both routes were always whether you're using the stand 4 or the back 2, it'll always work. So that's base stance combos. And as far as let's ignore Sento for a second. Let's act like Sento's not here. Let's say we're just playing with Sword Kenshi. You want to just go for basically any hit confirm, whether it's 1-2 or forward 2-2 or forward 1-1 into the launcher. And whenever we go for the launcher, the easiest combo we could do is 1-1-2 in the air. It's a nice little easy combo that'll give us good damage and leave us right in front of our opponents. But if you want to go for slightly harder stuff, we also have that, like that. The hit advantage on this is not great, so your opponent can wake up and press something at the same time as you, as we are 0 on hit, but it gives us slightly more damage, so just keep that in mind. And now as far as fighting with Sento, anytime we start a combo with Sento, we're pretty much trying to start with Sento 2. Sento 2 is our best starter as far as Sento starting the combo, so we could do Sento 2 and then 4-2-2-1 into Sento 3, stand 4, Sento 3, and then stand 4, down back 4. Yeah, it's pretty simple once you start to get the grasp of how to play Sento or understand what Sento does. It's kind of easy to do these combos. You don't really need to hold R1 to stop Sento from doing anything, just because the way the combo works. It just gives us the perfect time as Kenshi to hit the opponent and give Sento enough time to get off cooldown and do another attack as well. Now I'm going to show you guys punish combos and also how to apply fatal blow in your combos as well. So here we go. So 2-1 into Kameos, usually my go-to. And pretty much at the end of any combo, you could just do stand 4 into fatal blow. It will pretty much always connect, since Kenshi's fatal blow is very fast. So you don't really have to think about when to use fatal blow. It's just whenever you get your hit, you can pretty much use it, and you get a ton of damage like so. Now really quick, we're going to talk about punishes from longer ranges. So if my opponent, like Shao Kahn, were to do his forward 2-2-2 or forward 1-2-2 string, it's minus 13 on block. Your farthest range punish would pretty much be your back 2. Back 2 is 12 frames on startup, so it'll just barely punish this, but it is also still faster than forward 2. So when opponents do stuff like, let's say Melina, if she does like ball roll and you block it, then back 2 into forward cameo would be your best bet as far as punishes go. But if your opponent is slightly closer, then your jab punishes both work just fine. So really quick to recap, Kenshi is a puppet character that excels once he is able to open his opponent up in neutral. So if you find a whiff punish, or if you find a jab punish, you're able to pull out Sento stance. This is really when we can get the offense going. This is the goal of the character, and this is what he's really good at, and this what makes him really strong. Now what the character is not so good at is pretty much playing defense. So if you're in sword stance, your opponent is pressuring you, we don't have access to armored launchers, so we pretty much have to hold pressure and then find a way out, whether it's mashing through something or jumping, or waiting until the opponent makes a mistake and able to find a punish that way. So yeah, when he's in sword stance, he's pretty weak as far as like getting out of pressure. When he's in base stance, he's slightly better because we do have access to our armor, but it's still not the greatest armor in the game. It can be broken pretty easily since it is very slow. But me personally, I think Kenshi is one of the best characters in this game. So I truly think if you guys haven't already, you should learn this character. You'll do wonders. You'll be beating everybody. You'll be smoking everybody in ranked matches and whatnot. Going crazy in Kombat League. You'll hit Elder God in no time if you can actually play this character properly. But I want to say before we get out of here, thank you guys so much for watching. And you guys can also check out everything shown in this video in the text version in the link in the description. And if you like the video, please let us know down in the comments, and also leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys hopefully in the next one. Peace.